They still.
Hey, hello everyone, YouTube. It's me, Matthew Wilds. As you know by now, I'm a big fan of Power Rangers. In fact, I'm watching Power Rangers Beast Morphers as recorded. After recording all the season 1 episodes after, well, missing most of it. I actually like Ghostbusters. I think they look awesome. I think they look awesome. Hey, you know what Ghostbusters is? Tokumei Sentai, Ghostbusters! I'm getting off track here. Alright then. As you can tell by the title, yes, this is going to be a power comparison. You gotta compare the Power Rangers, the Megazord powers, to themselves in each season, to see which one's the stronger one. Alright then, season 1, you already know what it is. The Dino Ultrazord. Season 2, the Dino Ultrazord. Because obviously, season 3, right. This is the first one to have two 5-piece Megazords. And this is why it's so toughy, which one's stronger. The only way to tell is to see which one's stronger. Ninja Megazord or the Shogun Megazord. Oh my king, I know who's the stronger one. Shogun Ultrazord. Yep. Because yep. Power Rangers Zeo. Alright. Hey, yep. Zeo. No, Zeo. This one's a toughie. I got you. No, Zeo. Alright then, Zeo Megazord. I don't think it shows the power level. But if it doesn't, then I'll just go over to 25 million. Power level of 25 million. Hold on, give me a minute. Alright then, Red Megazord. $28 million. Stronger than the Zeo Megazord. It's just on one being. Alright then. Next one is the combination between the two. It's called the Zeo Mega Megazord. With a power level of 75 million. That's a lot. Now, let's see. Pyramidas. Does it show it? Well, then go to King Pyramid. Perimeter. Doesn't show it either? Huh. That's weird. Yep. It's unknown, but alright. Let's skip him. Yep. Alright, next is the Super Zeo Megazord. Give me a minute. Let's see if we can see the power levels. It's obvious which one's the stronger one. It's the Ultra Zord. Yep. Alright, the next is Turbo. The worst of the first five. Don't make the power at 20 million. Alright, the next is Rescue Megazord. Power level 30 million. Stronger already. Alright, the next is the Rescue Turbo Megazord. Let's say on his because, well, you know. Well, I have to say 25 million. I don't know. Oh, we're not done yet. Don't forget about Robo Racer.
Were creating technological wonders to fight the machine empire. Instead, one could say that the Rangers represented a mix of technology and magic. The mystical powers of the crystal were complemented by technology, and as I said before, the circuitry look of the details on the Zeo suits allude to that. Instead, the magic side of things was represented by Rita and Zed. They were the old guards, the past villains who represented older ways and superstitions who had lost their power as time moved on and progress advanced. Anytime the two tried to use technology to fight the Empire, it backfired on them. However, when Rita got her new staff, she created a monster far more effective than most of Mondo's machines. The Rangers, however, were the compromise between technology and magic, and were able to fight off both forces. Then again, I could just be talking out of my ass with this. It's just how I saw it. Power Rangers Zeo showed the team at their strongest. A wide array of weapons, power levels ever increasing, and their enemies were getting easier to defeat. Writing-wise, it honored the history of the team while also building on their new premise to advance further. However, after 4 years, it was time for the team to graduate from the 5 teenagers with attitude premise and take the next step into greatness. A pity, though, that the next season meandered through that concept when they shifted into Turbo.
How to count them as one. And that's obviously the stronger one.
We are the bravest and most powerful warriors on our planet.
Excellent. Then you can help me in my
Alright, the
plans to
first one
receive
is Natural
an
Delta
oil plant
Megazord
cascade.
with 60 million
Us?
in 60 million power.
And with the help of Trident the alien, we saved the Power Rangers.
Yeah, and now we're legends on the planet of Horath.
Crap.
She's not real. Actually, the robot.
Well, based on that line read, she's not the only one. Welcome, my friends, to Power
Hey, that
Rangers
was Mega
Turbo.
Voyager.
Since my initial review of this
Dang it.
back in 2010, I had a chance to see more of the franchise than ever before. So a lot of my statements back then come off as very harsh towards a season that probably didn't deserve it. However, despite that, I still don't like this season, and I will not hold back on why I dislike it.
65
I
million.
think my problem
Whoa.
with it is that it's brainless.
It's
That might
stronger
seem
than
like
the-
an odd statement to
the
make concerning a
Natural
season of
Delta Megazord.
Power Rangers, but hear me out. Power Rangers has always had stupid things about it. Silly things, nonsensical things. Some of these are just occurrences meant to appeal to children, while others are a result of the Sentai footage, where some of the goofier elements in Japan are either considered normal, or at least even more hilarious there than here. And rest assured, if you're following along with this for the first time, I've already pointed out many of those dumb things. But this season feels especially brainless after what has come before. Bear in mind that this is the 5th season of the show, and we've seen a lot. While the characters haven't had arcs, there has been a sense of escalation of threat, of relationships being kindled, and a serious situation treated as a serious
55
situation.
million.
And when it comes to the Rangers, that seems to still be there, but it's all the trappings that make you tilt your head. It feels like it's trying really,
overall, the Mega
really
Voyager
hard
is the
to
stronger
appeal
one.
to kids.
Strongest.
Now, the show is for kids. I don't want to underplay that. But it hasn't felt like it's been trying to be for kids for so long. It felt more like an action-adventure show that was appropriate for all ages. Sure, it wasn't sophisticated, but it hasn't felt like it was dumbing itself down either. Here, though, yeah, it feels like the show got stupider. Part of my dislike of the season also comes down to my own nostalgia.
25 million.
I loved Zeo as a kid, and hated Turbo as that same kid, and it has colored a lot of my opinions. So please bear with me as we trudge through this one. I'll try to be fair.
The Ryan Galaxy makes it always that strong.
But if I think something is stupid, I'm called stupid. To start off, here's a weird bit of behind the scenes. A lot of changes occurred between the end of Zeo and the beginning of Turbo, mostly aesthetic. The power chamber has been upgraded to be brighter, the displays of the old Mighty Morphin suits are gone, replaced by colored tubes. The teleportation effect is different, and worse in my opinion. Not that the original effect was great, but just that it was more convincing that they were surrounded by energy, whereas the new effect clearly has them fade out and replaced with the stock effect. Alpha's appearance is different. Bulk and Skull are not only not on their way to France, but they and Lieutenant Stone have managed to get reinstituted into the police force, and despite the promise of Zed proclaiming, "We're back," well, the villains just left without any explanation. They get a cameo in the movie, though, when the new villain calls Rita for help.
If I knew that, do you think I'd be lying here listening to this? My advice to you, Divatox, run!
A lot of the aesthetic stuff can be explained away as advancing technology for the Rangers, but the story stuff, yeah, no actual resolution is ever offered. The closest we get, as I said, is a bit weird. Amit Baumick, who would later become a story editor and writer on Power Rangers Wild Force, was a fan of the show at the time and participated in a fan hoax that Australia had produced a series of shorts, much like the Zeo serial, to explain the transition between Zeo and Turbo, involving Serpentera attacking Earth with a bunch of stock footage, bad Australian voiceovers that didn't match the actual actors, and basically it was just a big practical joke that lasted a few years, with most everyone believing that this serial, called Scorpion Reign, great title by the way, was real, the end result being Serpentera destroyed and Zed fleeing, hence why they're no longer a thing in this season. The story would have just ended there, if not for the fact that Amit Baumick, as I said, went on to become a writer and editor on Power Rangers Wild Force, slipping in a few references to Scorpion Reign in an anniversary episode. He apparently even admitted while writing it that as far as he was concerned, Scorpion Reign was in continuity, even though it really isn't and doesn't match up with that anniversary episode. But whatever, it's just a weird piece of history. And with that, let's just dive into this. The season begins not with the show proper, but a movie. Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. Unlike the first movie, this one is canon with the TV show. Sadly, though, it's still not very good. $65 million. The positive of the film is that it's basically a bigger budget version of the TV show, keeping the overall flavor of it, but in a larger scope. The plot deals with an alien named Larigo who has the knowledge of how to enter a mysterious, mystical island. Larigo is supposed to be this great wizard, yet every time I see him, he looks like an Ewok that was left out in the sun too long. So the strongest magic is never particularly impressive, just a bunch of special effects sparkles. Why do I get the feeling this guy was the one who invented the metallic armor? It's really not helped that all of his dialogue, what little there is of it, sounds like he's gargling. Got power. And the fact that he's apparently harmed by Earth's sun means that whenever we see him, he's always waddling around and looking pathetic. Needless to say, I'm not really buying the great wizard thing with this guy. Now Zordon, giant floating head in a tube. I get a wizard vibe. Anyway, Larigo is being pursued by the space pirate Divatox, who wants to go to the mysterious island of mystery to free an ancient demon named Malagor and marry him. You know, it might not be a traditional relationship, but damn it, I support space pirates marrying lava monsters. Larigo manages to make it to Earth and into the care of the Rangers. However, since trying to prevent two people from getting married is really the kind of thing villains try to do, we needed a better incentive for our heroes to go after them. As such, Divatox kidnaps Kimberly and Jason because they're two pure souls that she can sacrifice to Malagor. In addition, in order to get Larigo out of hiding, Divatox kidnaps Larigo's wife and son. They try to trade the Rangers for Kimberly and Jason, but of course Divatox doesn't hold up her end of the bargain and just takes the oversized troll doll. In order to go after them, Zordon decides that the Rangers will need whole new Zords and powers in order to cross into the mysterious island of mystery. And if I may go off on a tangent, there's a subject that always bugs me about this, and that is, why? Why are you getting the turbo powers? What happened to the Zeo powers? There was nothing wrong with them. In fact, your powers are supposed to always be getting stronger. What the hell were you people thinking? Cat even starts to morph into Zeo Ranger 1 during the movie. Gah! This is one of the missteps of the season. There is no reason why they don't use the Zeo powers anymore. No explanation is offered for what happened to them, why they needed to stop using them, or why the Turbo Zords couldn't just be new Zords for the Zeo Rangers. And yes, there are plenty of fan theories about them being too powerful, but that's just what they are. Fan theories, not what the actual show says, which is nothing.